actually at one of my other restaurant kitchens right now, Locale, going through one of our DIY home cooking kits. This one's inspired by menu items from the restaurant Graffiti Bao. The team and I have kind of put together this kit for you, and I'd like to kind of walk through it. All right, so in your kit you'll find we've got our chicken dumplings here that are frozen and ready to go. We're just going to boil those up. A little crispy chili garlic sauce. We've got our Vietnamese gem salad ready to go with some Nuoc cham dressing, our fresh herbs, some tomatoes, and some citrus that I'll show you guys how to cut. Then we've got, the team took the time, we already Szechuan braised this lamb shank for you, so we're just going to reheat this in the oven, and then it's going to go with the fried rice, the vegetables, and the sauce that all go in there. And this is one of our side dishes. We've got our bok choy, and this is our Shaoxing braising sauce, which I'll show you guys how to put together as well. All right, so don't worry, we're going to go through each ingredient one by one as we put these dishes together. But most important thing we got to do first is, per the instructions, hopefully you have your oven set up for 350. So, like I said, this lamb shank is already braised off and ready to go, and we took the time, cleaned it, gotten this nice, cool, on-the-bone look to it, slowly braised it in Shaoxing wine, a little bit of Szechuan chilies, soy sauce, garlic, and ginger, and we've got a nice little jus left over from that, which is actually going to help us reheat that lamb shank. So, what we're going to go ahead and do is get this lamb shank in a pan. You get that sitting in the pan. Then you get the little jus in there, and then all you're going to do is gently bring this up to a simmer, and then we're going to go ahead and put it in the oven. So we've got it simmering, and all we're going to do is going to go ahead and put that in the oven. And don't worry, at 350, it's not going to burn, it's not going to do anything. You've got plenty of time while we do all this. It's going to slowly simmer. The longer it sits in there, the more tender it'll get anyway. And then when it's ready, we'll take it out. So let that go, and let's forget about that for a little bit. And second thing we're going to do is make sure we've got our pot of boiling water, which is for our chicken dumplings. We're not going to cook those yet because you like to cook those before we eat, but just want to make sure you've got your pot ready to rock and roll. Alrighty, so we're going to do a little bit of knife work. Again, nothing to be nervous about. Super simple, super easy. Simple paring knife, whatever knife you're comfortable with, this will apply. So first we're going to do is got some fresh citrus. All we're going to do is remove the rind and cut it in a nice little disc. That'll be a nice garnish for our salad. So take the two ends and cut a perfectly straight line. Just you can start to see where the peel starts and the flesh of the orange begins. And hold it up like that, and literally just take your knife very calmly and follow the shape of the orange until there's no white left. I'm going to follow this, like I said, you're going to follow the shape of the orange right around here. And this dish is we do a variation of this at Graffiti Bao all the time. It's either in the version of a cauliflower salad, a gem lettuce salad, sometimes we'll use kale, we'll use noodles, but it's always some variation of this dish that works really well. And the fun part is at home, even after this cooking class is over, you can take some of these techniques and principles and flavor profiles and have fun and make your own salad, especially, going into the summertime, it's nice and hot. This is super refreshing. So yeah, you see you've got a little bit of white left. So all you're going to do is, the white's the bitter part. So that's exactly why you want to kind of cut this off. And get that out of the way. And again, if there's a little bit on there, don't be nervous. And then, all we're going to do is take that, slice it like this. You're going to go about a 1/4 inch thick, and just slice straight down. And they have these really pretty garnishes for your salad. Alrighty, so, orange rinds. Depends what you want to do. I like to save them. We like to zest them. They're really great in risottos and rices, or if you want to compost them, you go ahead and do that. And again, this technique, if you're having trouble with it, struggling, pause the video, take your time, and we'll go through it. The next one, we're just going to do the same thing with one of these limes. These little key lime that are in season right now. They're beautiful. A lot of flavor to them. There's another one. This rind has a lot of flavor to it. So if you ever want to reuse this, like I said, this is a cocktail garnish or a twist for any of your drinks at home. This is perfect for that. Same thing. Just slice that in a little. And then again, save this, discard it. I compost, whatever you guys want to do at home. There we go. Next item we're going to prep is our heirloom tomatoes. Again, this is super rustic, nothing crazy. I like to just give them a little cut in half. These tomatoes have a great flavor and texture to them, and also I like when you cut them in half. If you notice, each one's got a very distinct look and color to it. and it just brings a lot of vibrancy and color to the dish. It makes it a little more exciting. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I personally like them cut like that, but if you have a preference, go ahead. And then we're going to take these little Persian cucumbers here. This is one of the cucumbers that's got a very soft, very mild rind to it, for lack of a better word, or skin. So I don't like peeling them. I personally like the texture they get and the flavor it gets from it. And so to give it a little bit of texture and color, go ahead and cut this. It's about a quarter of an inch. So a little cheat, if you're having trouble getting consistent sizing, and also worry about cutting yourself, safest way to go, your knuckles, keep them straight like this, but use your index finger and kind of stop wherever you want it to go. So you want them that thick, just put it there, put your finger up, press the knife against your finger, and just go straight down. And cutting with a knife, why they're shaped like this, is you're actually meant to rock through it, not straight down. Follow the shape of the knife, give it a little rocking motion. You'll notice you practice this, how much easier it is to start cutting stuff a little more consistently without so much effort. All right, so last thing we really have to prepare here with our knife for the salad is we've got two different kinds of baby gem lettuce. This is a red leaf variety. This is a green leaf variety. Two of my favorites. Super tender, but nice texture to them and nice flavor. All we're going to do here is you'll see how the ribs of the lettuce come to this nub. We're going to want to cut just the end off by still maintaining the fact that they're attached. Because if you go too far up, you end up with a bunch of different lettuce. And for our presentation, we would like to keep it together. So you got the nub cut off, all the browns off, they got a fresh bottom to it. Now what we're going to do is take it right down the middle and cut it. Just like that. We got the same thing here. See that? Get some of that brown off. We'll still keep it together. And if you get leaves that naturally fall off that look a little bruised, it's totally normal. Add them to the compost pile. Alrighty. So now we're ready to dress our salad and move on to the next dish. So we've got this is our Nuoc cham dressing, which is a little bit of Vietnamese fish sauce, sugar, some vinegar, some pickled chilies and shallots, and fresh lime juice. Kind of gives a really great sweet and sour note to it. And then here we just have fresh herbs. We've got fresh dill, Thai basil, and a touch of mint, and some house pickled chilies. So we'll go ahead and do here, again, a plate, totally flexible here. I like to use a flat plate for this dish. It's about 12 inches. Put it down, and so we start having some fun. So I like to just kind of, you gotta remember contrast and colors when you're plating. So I like to have, different elements of the dish kind of spread around. Put a base down for the citrus, and then kind of tuck one of these here. And then we'll take alternating with one of the lighter green ones. Kind of put that over here. And again, if you see some bruised parts, go ahead and just tear them off. Lettuce is washed and ready to go. Then we'll take some of these red leaf lettuce, kind of tuck that in over here. And we'll go up front. Cool. That. And then take some of our tomatoes over here. Kind of place them around. And again, sticking to the theme of contrast, you've got reds here, so you put some yellows. Where you feel like it needs some color, you got a lot of green over here, throw some orange. And again, this should be the fun part. This shouldn't be, stressful, worrying about tweezers. Don't worry about any of that stuff. This is the fun. It's a fun, good rustic salad, just with a lot of flavor, and that's what it's all about. We're here to highlight ingredients, and less about making it too fancy. So we got our tomatoes all sprinkled around. Go ahead, add our cucumbers. Throw a couple of these key limes on there. And then pickled chilies. So go ahead and give them the taste beforehand, but I can promise you they're not spicy. We de-seed them, and the pickling process really takes all the heat out of them. But again, if you're sensitive to that stuff, give them a taste first and make sure before you go covering the salad with it. I personally like a lot of pickled chilies on stuff, so we're going to go a little crazy here. And then take a spoon. And again, dressing is another one of those things. Give it a taste. I personally like a good amount of dressing, and the acidity and sugar in this actually helps kind of cure and soak into the lettuce and all the citrus in the fruit. So doing this ahead of time while we prepare everything else isn't a bad idea. So just take that and just, again, kind of liberally dress it around. And make sure you get into, all the good crevices and corners of those lettuce. That's what's going to pick up all that flavor. Like that. And then we just got our fresh herbs. So, you know, again, this doesn't have to be perfect. There's tie them around, tear them off, throw them down. I personally like the whole leaves, so I actually like the texture and contrast. And then a little bit of this fresh dill. All right, so here we are. Again, like I said, you'll have some dressing left over potentially, and that's okay, because as this kind of sits and marinades as you're eating it, I like to always have this dressing on the table, because other than a great salad dressing, it's actually a great condiment for fried rice, for your vegetables and things like that. So I put a little extra in there. Feel free to overdress the salad if you want. That's how I like it, or use it for any other stuff that we got going on today. All right, so next we're ready to get our fried rice started. What I have for you in the package today is, you'll see this Texas long grain rice. We actually go ahead and steam it ahead of time. But then the key to this, to making a great fried rice, especially at home, you don't have the ripping heat of a wok, is to then cool it down on a sheet tray, uncovered in your refrigerator. We do it in the walk-in with the fan on. It actually helps dry it out. So you feel like almost wondering if the rice is cooked or not, because it's like kind of a nice crunchy, dried out feel to it. But this is the key to really get a good crust and sear on that fried rice. And then here we've already gone ahead and put all the aromatics together for you, which is a blend of chilies, shallots, a little bit of scallions, shiitake mushrooms. We've got some crispy garlic for you, 2 eggs, fried rice sauce, which is a mixture of dark soy, a little bit of light soy, sweet soy, fresh ginger, and then our lamb spice for the fried rice is a mixture of yellow curry powder, a little bit of salt, and a pinch of sugar. And we're ready to get started here. So, like I was saying, the key is to either have a cast iron skillet. Even a non-stick pan works in this scenario if you don't have that, but a big heavy metal cast iron would be ideal. And again, if you have a non-stick pan, it works the same way. For the cast iron, so while that pan's getting hot, what we're going to do is just take a peek at the lamb. Like I told you, not to stress about it, but we're going to take a look here, and it's just slowly heating up. That sauce is reducing just a little bit. And like I said, it's looking great. We're going to let that go. If by chance oven's too hot, anything like that, and you feel like the sauce is disappearing, go ahead and add a splash of water to it just to bring it back and reconstitute it a bit. And also know, if you have a convection oven at home and the fan is on, that if I say 350 and you have a fan on high, set the oven to 325. Always consider a 25-degree variance due to the fan, and that you don't want to add any of that extra heat or burn that. So, all right, so we got our pan getting nice and hot. We're going to go ahead and add a little bit of blended oil. This, again, high temp. So blended oil is a mixture of canola and olive oil. If you have peanut oil at home, cottonseed oil, things like that are great. Straight extra virgin olive oil is a big no-no, because at this high heat, it'll actually burn and start to smoke, which we don't want, because it'll kind of add a pretty gnarly flavor to it. So while that oil is getting nice and hot, go ahead and crack these 2 eggs. So the eggs are also kind of like, other than adding flavor, they're also kind of like a natural lubricant for the pan to keep that rice from sticking. Whisk those up. Got that oil nice and hot. That. Salt. All right, you can see everything's starting to pick up color very, very quickly. So we're going to go ahead. Eggs are nice and scrambled. We're going to add that right in, almost like making an omelet. All right, egg is just about soft, still a little wet, but you see it's not sticking, right? If it is sticking, add a touch. Now it's time to add a touch more oil. You'll be okay. Rice, boom, get in there. And this, kind of give it a second. You'll hear it frying. Try to pat it down a bit for a quick second. Again, in a wok, you'll see it moving a whole lot. But the fact that we don't have all that high heat at home, we got to cheat it a little bit by giving the rice a little extra contact time with the pan to start really, you hear that popping and crackling? It's actually the rice kind of coming back to life and doing its thing. All right. Go ahead in there and break some of that egg up. And don't worry about the flipping and the tossing. If you're not comfortable doing that, just take your spoon and make sure you just keep that rice moving around the pan. Right? There's no right or wrong way to do this at this point. We're just having some fun, making some fried rice. All right. You'll feel it. Don't be shy. It's not too hot. Rice is getting nice and warm though. And all of a sudden you'll notice that rice softened right up after I hit that heat and fried up a little bit. We're going to go ahead with our fried rice sauce. And this is another one. Give the sauce a taste. I personally like putting a solid spoonful in there like that. I left you a little extra in case you want to add some more at the end. But this has all your seasoning in it. And also now, the best way to know if it's all incorporated is you'll see all the granules of rice turning brown, just like the sauce. And that's how you know all your seasoning has been incorporated properly. All right, and then we're going to add fried rice slice at the end. I'm going to keep that moving around a bit. The last ingredient we're going to add, some of that crispy garlic. So we put this in at the very, very end. Kill the heat. Let that fry up for one last second. Alrighty. So you see you've got nice caramelization bits on some of the rice. That's some of that great flavor. Like I said, that kind of cheats that wok flavor a little bit. Either a high-sided coupe plate like this, or even a large bowl works very, very well. Go ahead and put that in here. All right, make a nice little well that we're gonna put that lamb shank in. And then we'll go ahead and grab our lamb shank. Oh, looking beautiful. And go ahead. And it's okay if it starts to fall off the bone. That's a good sign. That means it's ready to go and it's nice and tender. We're gonna take that lamb and put that right here. And then a little bit of that sauce right over the top to reconstitute. And again, like I said, if it looks a little too over reduced or it seems like it's stuck in the pan, you add a splash of water to it, and it'll kind of bring it back to life. And have all that flavor, and just put it right over the lamb. Also, you'll find in your kit, you got some scallion curls. Just like a fun classic garnish. Really feel free. Anything needs some color, throw it on there. I like to put a little bit of a little nest of that over the top of this lamb. Kind of keep it looking pretty. That's it. There's your lamb shank fried rice. So, last step of the process here, we're going to go ahead and get our chicken dumplings going. So you got that pot of boiling water with a touch of salt in it. You've got a small saute pan. Again, this one, any saute pan you have at home will be just fine. What we went ahead and did with the bok choy was I got it blanched and ready for you. And all we did with that was get a big pot of salty water, which tastes like the ocean. Rip and boil, dunk it in there for about 3 minutes until it turns bright green. Then we pull it out, flash it a little bit of ice, and chill it down, and it's ready to go. Our sauce here is a mixture of house chicken stock, a lot of Shaoxing wine, a touch of soy, and fresh garlic and ginger. And what we're going to do here is melt this down in the pan and go ahead and simmer this bok choy in this sauce, and it's ready to go. So while we're getting this water to a boil here, get that added into the pan. And if you happen to have a big pan and you feel like the sauce needs to get dispersed a little bit, or you'd like a little more sauce in there, honestly, while you have that water boiling here, all you've got to do literally is take a couple splashes of water and put some of that boiling water for your dumplings right into that pan. So I kind of do these two side by side, right? That way you get it nice and hot all together. And we just get it steaming in there nice. Our water's almost to a boil here. We'll let that slow down a little bit to a nice simmer. And you notice, like I said, the dumplings they came in frozen to you, and they actually cook best from frozen. They thaw it a little bit. Don't be scared. Again, these softened up a bit. It's fine. The key, though, less about them being frozen, is about the water boiling. If the water's not at a roaring boil, all you're gonna do is kind of slow poach them, and the skins fall apart, and they don't come out so nice. Water, a nice boil here. Go ahead, add those dumplings in. A quick little stir in there, and then let them go. The key here, obviously, they're chicken, so we want to cook them all the way through. You set a timer for 6 minutes, and they're a roaring boil. They'll be ready to go. Also, if you're doing it in a big pot, you'll see them come as they float. And then the final test is give them a poke. They should be firm, not mushy. Ground chicken, mushy. Cooked chicken, firm. That's kind of the best way to go about doing it. And believe we have these on the menu at Graffiti Bao, and it's, that's a constant technique that all the cooks have to use and pay attention to every day. They come out perfect. All right. While waiting for these dumplings to cook, we go ahead and start plating up our bok choy. A little swirl in there. As you can see, the bok choy is nice and bright green. It's not overcooked. Nice black pepper in there. All beautiful ingredients. Again, I like to just have a plate that's got a nice high side to it, so that way the sauce doesn't run everywhere. Kind of stays nice and coated on the bok choy. Go ahead and lay those down. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do it. This is personally how I like to enjoy it. And then go ahead and kind of swirl that sauce around a little bit, right over the top. And then, got some of that crispy garlic from that fried rice. It's a perfect garnish for this. There you go. So you see our chicken dumplings are starting to float. You take a standard slotted spoon, anything you have that's got holes in it, and a way to pick these up. As you can see, you'll start to feel them nice and firm. You actually, the skin becomes semi-translucent, and what you see in there is our chicken dumpling filling, which is hand-chopped, dark meat organic chicken, fresh ginger, a little bit of bamboo shoots, a touch of chili paste, and salt, some sugar. And that's really about it, man. You see, nice and floating. So we're going to bring these over to our plate. That way we're not... So then, all we're going to do, one by one. And this I personally like, again, I like it in a bowl. No right and wrong way to do this, but personally how I like it. So I like having extra crispy chili garlic sauce on there. So what we have here is our signature Graffiti Bao crispy chili garlic sauce. I'm sure you've seen a lot of different variations of this popping up all over the place. We make this one in-house every day. It's a mixture of, crispy dried garlic, a little bit of fried garlic, chu chow chili oil, some dried Chinese chilies, a touch of black vinegar, and a touch of soy, which kind of makes a perfect accompaniment for these dumplings. Go ahead and I'll just dress them out, but you'll see how vibrant and nice and bright orange that chili oil looks over these dumplings. Is one of my favorites. Again, this is another one of those condiments that give you a little bit extra. You can feel free to put it all over the chicken dumplings, or go ahead and put this over just about anything else you have that we're enjoying today. Would be great with this. At the restaurant, we actually also kind of cross-utilize this with a signature dish that's got our scallion pancake and a little bit of burrata cheese on it. So it actually works well, kind of crossing boundaries and culinary and culinary rules a little bit. Then let's take some of those scallion curls, a little bit over the top, and there you go. If you're feeling crazy and you want to add a little bit more of that crispy garlic, go ahead. There's some in the sauce already, but I kind of like putting this on everything. So there you go. I'm sure you have plenty of it. And then, so one of my other favorite garnishes too, I packed in here for you. We have a little bit of sambal chili paste. This is more of a vinegary spice to it. So it's fresh chopped chilies that are marinated in vinegar and a touch of sugar and salt. So there's more of a vinegary spice to it. And then in here, you'll find our signature dumpling dip, which is rice vinegar, black vinegar, and soy sauce, which is a great accompaniment and dipping sauce to this. But on their own, they're great and ready to go. All right, so last dish. This is the most complicated one. I hope you're ready for the hardest garnish that we have. You'll find a coconut filled with coconut rice pudding that's got some white chocolate, whipped cream and stuff folded into it. And then you'll find these Rice Krispie treat looking things, which are Rice Krispies coated in white chocolate and fresh lime zest and Thai lime zest. Really, really good. So what we're going to do is take them, you're going to stick them in there, however you see fit. Just like that. And then, on the plate, we're ready to eat. There you go. Alrighty, so these are all the dishes that were included in your kit. If you happen to opt in for some of the add-ons, I definitely included instructions in the package for you. The pork belly for the bao buns is reheated the same way we did the lamb shank, and the scallion pancake, similar pan procedure as we did for the fried rice. Super low and slow. Just get a nice toast on each side, and they're going to be ready to go. I had a blast cooking with you guys. I hope you did too. And don't forget to tag us and show us the pictures of all your dishes. I want to see all of them. So tag Graffiti Bao, tag Secret Burger. Go ahead and tag myself. I'd love to repost some of your stuff and see what you guys got. Thank you again. Here's all the ingredients for your gem kale salad. Gem salad. Let's start over that. That's a gem and kale salad item here. Here's the stuff for the Nuoc cham kale salad. Or I keep saying kale salad. It's a gem salad. We have a kale. Yeah.